Welcome to Happy Hour, brought to you by Best Damn Bookkeeping. To Rob's point, like it's a gray area, right? But we all know when we're being oversold. And Angela, you probably like I have a tendency to probably even undersell, and Angela, you do too, because you're like, I don't want to offend them, right? I just want to figure out when the right time to help is. And I do find, because like a good example is out on Facebook, and this was like a horrible interaction that I had because some asshat jumped in and actually, like, I think JC prompted it. Somebody had posted like, hey, what should I look for in a good bookkeeper? Would have been super easy for me to be like, hey, book a demo with me. I'll sell you some shit. We're the best, blah, blah, blah. That's not what I like this is like my favorite thing. I love showing my team when this happens. Like 4 or 5 people jumped in. We're like, you got to talk to Dan. Talk to Dan. Dan. One guy said, hire a local CPA, which is the worst. That's the worst advice. Like, hey, what should I do to find a good bookkeeper? Hire a local CPA. It's like, what should I do to get a good salesperson? Hire a good technician. Like, that's basically like, hire a good customer service person. A local subcontractor. Like, it's just the worst advice ever. So I jumped in and said, like, here's some qualifications that I'd look for. Didn't say a thing about my company, right? 5 other people did, but I just jumped in and said, here's what you should look for. Here's like the criteria of what I would look for in another bookkeeper. And said it right off the get-go, like, I'm biased. I have a bookkeeping business. These are the things that I do. Not once did I sell them and say, like, sign up for my bookkeeping business and we'll take care of it for you. Just here's what I would look for. And if you need help, book time with me, right? And I'll talk you through it and I show you what we do, but also I'll show you just what you should look for and what cost, what's cost effective, what the market rate is, whatever else the case is, but just offering to help, right? As vendors, we see so much. We see so much more than the dude that says, hire a local CPA. Like, that's generally the worst bookkeeping that I see, but he doesn't know any better because that's what he did, right? He doesn't know any better. So as a vendor, like, we have this superpower because we see all the shit that doesn't work. We see all the people that hired a local CPA and it's garbage because CPAs are not bookkeepers. They're tax people. 2 different things, 2 different purposes. And a lot of us as vendors kind of see this thing where somebody misunderstands what they're actually trying to get out of a service. And it's your chance to, like, be helpful. And so a good vendor goes in, and again, I'm biased because this is totally my approach, but a good vendor doesn't go in and say, hire me. I can do it for you. I'm the best at this. A good vendor comes in and says, here's what you're looking for. And if somebody's asking me for good bookkeepers, I'm like, I would go talk to Megan, right? Megan's super good. I like talking to Megan. Yeti Books is a little more expensive, but I get clients from them and, like, their books aren't terrible. And I think they can do a good job. And so, like, a good vendor is going to tell you other vendors that could also do a good job for you because they're not busy trying to sell you some shit. Their number one goal is to try to help you. And I think any of us as vendors would love to be the one helping, right? But the more important thing is that you get good bookkeeping or you get good VA help or whatever the case is. Hey, home service heroes, thank you guys so much for tuning into our home service happy hour content today. I sure hope you learned a little something, and I sure as heck hope that it was entertaining. If you did find it fun and entertaining, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel for more cool, fun, entertaining business content. And speaking of which, stay tuned. There's a little more here and a little more right here. Check it out.